I'm Adam.
I'm Richard.
Hello, I'm Kelly. We are the Stereophonics. Mine is Jamie because he's upstairs sleeping. We're watching Noise11.
Kelly, Richard and Adam are, well, 3/4 of Stereophonics. Welcome into Noise11. And, since the last time you've been here, you've got one new member too, haven't you, with Jamie's joined the band?
Yeah. Jamie came to us last year. We put the censors out last year, done 2 days of auditioning, and Jamie was the first man in, and he didn't leave. He said to us, I hope it don't work out for everybody else. So, and it didn't.
Yeah. Well, it's some great history to talk about, over the course of the next 10 or 15 minutes. 8 albums now under the belt. Graffiti on the Train being the latest record. Yeah. And I do believe inspired by something that really happened there for you, Kelly.
The title track was kind of came about after I was hearing some people on my roof of my house, and I thought they were trying to break in to my house, but it turns out they were trying to get to a train track behind my house to paint the trains. And it was just something that kind of stuck in my head, really, that the amount of risk somebody would take to leave their mark on the world or whatever. And I just made up a story that he was, writing messages on a train so his girl could see them in the morning when she goes to work, and then he proposes to her, and he surfs the train and falls off. So it's kind of like one of these love tragedy things, and that was kind of the beginnings of the theme to the album, really. Yeah.
Was the album up at that point? I guess had the working title of Violins and Tambourines, which is on the album as well.
Yeah, I think Violins and Tambourines became some title that people put out because that was one of the first videos we released. But it was always called Graffiti on the Train before we'd even finished the album.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a co-write for you, that track.
Violins and Tambourines. Yeah, Jim helped me out with that. Yeah.
Jim Lowe, the producer of the record.
Yeah. I was playing the riff, and he just jumped on the Wurlitzer, and he kind of did the bass notes, and then I sang it, and it kind of came about quite quickly. Yeah, but he's a good guy, Jimmy. He's done a lot of records with us, and he understands the band a lot, And he needed some beer money.
Let's hear from Richard on David Arnold being included on this track as well.
We put some synthetic synth strings on about 3 or 4 of the tracks, and Kelly had the idea of taking them to David Arnold because the publicist that we got knows him, so he passed on the number. Kelly and Jim went down to the studio with him, played him a couple of tracks. He really liked it, and he wanted to work on the tracks, which was great. We booked, I think it was Air Studios in London, Air Lyndhurst, and got it done in half a day.
And David Arnold, not unknown to the occasional James Bond
Shaken Not Stirred.
That's right.
Soundtrack, yes.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys now have officially got your audition in for the next Bond movie. Well, look, Adam's shaking the head there. Is obviously somebody down there.
I made myself very known to the man.
Was the next James Bond?
Maybe the next Bollywood James Bond. I was thinking
Bollywood James Bond would be a good alternative. Well, they're starting to work on the next James Bond movie at the moment, so probably a good time to get the audition tapes in.
Brooke Bond.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, going into the studio to do this record took quite a long time for a Stereophonics record. In fact, it was the longest time in between albums that you've ever had. With the 8 records. There was a studio built before the session started?
We kind of decided, hang on, I held that the wrong way around then. We decided to, for the first time in 16 years, take a year off the road. But we finished, the world tour for Keep Calm and Carry On in November 2010. We were back in the studio by April 2011. And we found a place in London, and we put all our equipment in there that we'd gathered over the years and built a space and went into work every day, really. I don't know, it's hard because on paper it looks like 3 years, but it's the end of one year, the beginning of another year, and there's a year in the middle of it. So it was the same process in many ways, but I think because we didn't set ourselves a deadline and we didn't set ourselves a release date and just carried on working every day, we did go in every day, we ended up recording 35 songs and mixed 26. So we were going to do a double album, and then we decided people's attention spans and the way records are sold don't really cater to it. So we decided to possibly just do the 10 tracks now and maybe another 10 tracks next year. So in essence, we probably recorded 3 albums worth of material in a year. So it saves time now. In the future, we could just carry on touring now. We've already got the albums ready to release. So it was just a different way of doing it, you know.
So will like that next album be like considered the
Volume 2.
Volume 2 Graffiti? Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah. That's the working plan right now, yeah.
Yeah. You haven't broken any of the unreleased tracks into the set list though yet, have you?
Not yet. No, it's quite difficult breaking 8 albums worth of material into a set list at the minute. We've just been talking about it on the bus on the way from the airport, so we just try to change the set as much as we can through the albums we've already made and people have heard, you know.
Yeah. You've done a few shows in Australia so far. Pull the Pin is missing.
Yeah, it has been, yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
It's the only album. You're not playing anything from it.
Yeah, we might be doing Pass the Buck tonight, though.
Yeah?
Or It Means Nothing. But we've... Again, you know, having Jamie as a new drummer as well, you know, he's got to learn over 110 songs. So I'm not blaming Jamie on it. We have played Bank Holiday Monday and stuff, but we haven't played any Pull the Pin tracks in Australia, I don't believe.
No, it's kind of hard as well to put a set list together of, you know, like which got the momentum to take the audience, you know, like where you're trying to get them with the new material and complement them with other songs as well. So sometimes, you know, like tracks do tend to, you know, like have to be sacrificed really.
Mm-hmm. Have you got any personal dislike of that particular album?
Of Pull the Pin?
Yeah.
No, I like the album. It kind of goes in roundabouts, really. You know, sometimes we only play a couple of Word Gets Around, and then you do a lot of, you know, we haven't been playing a lot of songs of Keep Calm and Carry On this run, because we were doing 10 off the new album at the beginning of March. But then we put She's Alright and Trouble back into the set, and, you know, just now in the car we were listening to Stop to Fill My Car Up from Performance and Cocktails and Be a Bottle of Keep Calm and Carry On, and we were learning Pass the Buck off Pull the Pin. No, we liked their record. It was Adam's first record, joining the band on the live thing, and yeah, like Richard said, really, you know, when you got 8 albums and you can only play about 20-25 songs a night, it's quite hard sometimes to fit everything in. It's much more about pacing and experience, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes some songs are not intentionally missed from certain albums. It just kind of goes that way. And
Is there a sort of a group band decision for putting a set list together?
yeah, well, we don't play any songs that we don't like. You know, I'll write a bunch of songs that we'll try in the sound check, and whatever feels comfortable and people feel confident in playing, because everybody come into the band at different stages. You know, nobody's played everything entirely apart from me and Richard, really. And when we do rehearsals on this tour, it's been essentially about this album. And that's kind of gone less and less and less down the thing, because we've been doing festivals in Europe which are sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. So one night you're playing 10 songs, the next night you're playing 20 songs, another night you're playing 14 songs, and so you just try to do what you can to show as many sides of your band as you can, really. But yeah, the requests today, Jamie wants to play Be a Bottle, Dan, manager, wants us to play High as the Ceiling. Adam always requests Pull the Pin, actually.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, passes the older. Pass that thing. I like Pull the Pin because it was the first record that I came in on, so I've got kind of fond memories of it. But I think we
did Bright Red Star on the sound check, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I think with this record though, they're quite different, you know. So obviously playing a lot off this new record, then it's very difficult, as the two lads have just said. That was quite a punky record. So.
Well, there's a remarkable song in Been Caught Cheating, which, even just for the sound, I mean, it's a very bluesy, different sound for Stereophonics to play with. Tell me about this song and how it all came about.
It was just a live take in the studio, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam had the Telecaster on and he was playing the solo, and I had a mic and a 12-string acoustic and just played it live. And yeah, it was one take, a song I had on an old tape recorder, and the vocal, well, every part of it is just live, one take, and that was it, really. And we kind of tend to record between 12 and 12, and after 12 we'd have a few drinks and I'd play some of the old songs I'd written, and we recorded them. I was listening to another few of them today actually. There was a whole bunch of them called like the late night sessions really, and after like Roll the Dice and violins and tambourines, that kind of breaks up the intensity of the record. I think that's what Ad was just trying to explain really. We pull the pin.
I'll be me.
I'll be Queen's
unprofessional.
as uncle.
As uncle. There you go.
Oh, what's that ringtone there, Richard?
That's Restless by Uncle.
There we go.
Just wakes me up every time he rings. I know it's my phone.
Yeah. Back on Being Caught Cheating, what's the Amy Winehouse connection with that? Was it inspired by Amy Winehouse?
I was just sitting in the house one day and read a newspaper article, something about Amy breaking up, and I just went to a few chords and the line came out my mouth, being caught cheating, and I met her a couple of times on festivals and had a chat with her about if she got songs for the next record in a party once, and I just always thought it was a song that could have suited her voice really, but obviously that was never to be, and a couple of years later we recorded it, so yeah, kind of came about that way.
I haven't seen you doing any cameo appearances with big bands lately there, Kelly. I mean, there was that Who thing a few years ago, which was bloody amazing to watch. Have you had any of those moments since then?
Yeah, we did the Albert Hall with Ronnie last year, didn't we? Was that last year? Paul Weller.
Mm-hmm.
Weller joined us as well, didn't he? Was that last year or the year before?
Yeah, we'd always do quite a bit of collaborating on charity events, yeah.
It must be one of the fun parts of your job.
It's one of the most surreal parts of our job, yeah. I took my mother and father to the Albert Hall on the last one, and it's quite odd to see my mother and father sitting in the dressing room, sitting next to Ronnie Wood and Paul Weller and Jubal Holland and Roger Daltrey. It was pretty bizarre, actually.
Do they have a conversation with them?
Yeah, because they're all really grounded people, you know. Yeah. They all come from extremely working class backgrounds, and so there's not a lot we haven't got in common, to be honest. You know? Yeah, it's great.
Fantastic stuff. Well, it's great to see you guys back in
Thanks,
Australia. The new album, Graffiti on the Train, out there at the moment as well. And we thank Stereophonics for joining us here at Noise 11.
Thank you very much. Cheers, man.